Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Modern Church Leader. I'm here with my new bud, Adam Alphin. This is Adam who started a new company, not the LinkedIn Adam whose profile picture I have, but Adam,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thank you, Frank. So good to be with you. Great chatting with you. Excited to do
We've been
this.
chatting for like an hour already, so it
Yeah,
feels like now we have
yeah.
to come up with new things to talk about. But
Old friends. Yeah, we can rehash some of it. Yeah.
we'll re-talk about. Well, man, you started a pretty cool company. Like we were kind of geeking out on startup and tech and all that kind of stuff. But you started a business 3 years ago, serving all kinds of customers. But over the last year, you focused heavily on the church and found like a great fit there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of your backstory and kind of your connection to the church, and then you can get into the business side.
Yeah. So yeah, I've spent my whole career sort of early stage software with a focus in this what I'll call spend management space or expense management space. Just prior to this, I spent the last 6 years at a company called Coupa Software, Silicon Valley company, primarily focused on sort of the Fortune 2000, building procurement and invoicing and expense management solutions for some of the world's largest brands.
Exciting stuff.
Oh,
Procurement.
Yes, procurement.
Sign me up.
Yeah. Everybody loves a good e-procurement system. And at the end of that time there, I led product management for a suite of payment products, and so the initial vision really was we wanted to build really simple, easy to use expense management for Middle America. That was really the initial vision. I launched the company with my co-founder, Owen Hill, and cousin, Owen Hill. So we grew up together. He lives in Colorado. I live in Virginia. But certainly lots of history and love and trust. And so it's been a great co-founding situation thus far. And so, that was the initial vision, was just let's build something for Middle America. It took us a year or so to get a product that really formed, to get all of the financial operations behind it that's required to do something like this, where we offer credit to organizations and simplify their whole expense management process. And then, like you said, about a year ago, first of all, our second customer ever was my local church,
Nice.
and some of our other early employees.
As any good founder would do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. First customer, brother-in-law's construction company. Second customer, my local church, right? So like a good starting point there. And I wish I'd had the foresight to say, oh, this worked great for them, let's just do that. But it took us a little while to figure all that out. About a year ago, we said, this is an opportunity. There's some features that need to be built for this, for churches, and I would even say schools, because so many have schools associated with them as well. So, and that nonprofit space in general. So, that's where we started focusing about a year ago, and we built some other partnerships with the accounting systems that serve that world. Some integrations there, and so that's really what we're after. And now, we're going hard at trying to help as many churches and schools as possible. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're 3 years in.
3 years in,
and it sounds like it's been a fun ride. Like, what is expense management? Like, I don't know who's going to be listening. There'll be a lot of pastors. There'll definitely be some on the ops side and the admin side and the finance side. But not everybody's, when you think expense management, like what is that? And then like, what is it for churches that you've seen? And then maybe how does the software come in and start playing? Because in my head, I'm like, expense management, I think receipts and volunteers and reimbursements and getting paid 3 months later and just all this fuzziness. But, you obviously understand that world a lot better than I do.
Yeah. So we think of it in like there's 3 legs to the stool, if you will, right? The one is organizational credit cards and all of the expense management stuff that needs to go with that, right? Capturing a receipt to a transaction, getting it coded correctly, getting it approved in some instances. So that's one piece. The second piece is what we call bill pay, which is just kind of your classic a vendor bill that comes in and it needs to be digitized, it needs to be routed for approval, and then ultimately paid. And the third leg is reimbursements. You mentioned that. So giving a really easy way for both staff and non-staff, right? So this is what's unique about churches and nonprofits in general, is that there's a lot of volunteer management.
Right.
So they may not all be users in your system. So how do you maybe get a card to them in a good, secure way? How to go buy, to go buy meals for your Wednesday night meal at your church, right?
Right.
Or you're a youth volunteer for a youth event. And so yeah. So I think those are the three legs, right? The cards and expense management, bill pay, reimbursement. That's how we think about it. And I would say the management of volunteers is a big one, and then integration back into sort of fund accounting based processes, which a lot of these churches care about.
Right.
And so those are some of the key differentiators in the way we do it.
What do people do today? Like without you guys, most churches, like, how do they handle this stuff now?
Yeah. So it's a mixed bag. I mean, I think some are using something like Expensify or something like that, and those are like the more advanced ones, right? Where maybe they've got some process, but they're paying a subscription for it, and maybe they've got some piece of software they're using. Most are you doing a very manual process, right? And then ultimately keying that into an accounting system. So that means your staff have to get receipts. They may give that to someone in the office, right? An accounting person.
Right.
They may give the receipts to an accounting person, but then upload some stuff in a spreadsheet gets circled around, or a Google Sheet perhaps gets circled around. They need to say what it was for and justify it and things like that. So in most of our new customers, it's those type of manual processes that we're replacing. Perhaps they use a local bank card, right? So it's often a local bank that they're using, some type of credit card from a local bank. And so, and I'll also say that the card and expense piece of our product is where most churches start.
Right.
That's often like a clear pain point to start. And then they'll grow.
Because most people are, it's your first part of it. Most people are like volunteers out there. They're buying, supplies for the kids ministry program. And then they're coming to the administrative person or the finance person at the church who might still be a volunteer, or maybe they're part-time, or, maybe they're full-time.
Right.
They hand them some receipts and then somehow they get a check back.
That's right. That's right.
Like one of the most common scenarios. And then,
agreed.
And then maybe sometimes you said they have a local bank where they're issuing a card, and maybe they say, here's our card, go buy. It's like the one church card or something like that. And they're like, you're volunteering to buy.
People can check it out. Maybe the staff, maybe they've spun up different cards for different staff.
Right.
But there's nothing that connects that with their internal processes, right? And that's really what this core product does. It connects a card transaction to your core internal accounting process, as a church. So,
instead of someone going out and buying the stuff and then getting reimbursed, or you having like one or a couple of central cards, you made software where you can take those, create virtual cards or issue cards to staff and volunteers. And then now they have a physical card. So every week when you're buying kids ministry supplies or food or whatever, you just put it on the card.
That's right.
And then, it's not coming off your personal finances kind of thing.
Right. Put it on the card. You get a real-time push notification to our mobile app that you can take a picture, capture the receipt. You can code it right then if you'd like, if you want to assign it to the proper expense account. We also have a whole AI layer now that is doing that for you, right? So we'll learn who you are, and it populates recommended coding based on who you are in the church, your role, and data we're getting from Visa, and we're giving you a recommended. So we're eliminating a lot of errors there, and we're really reducing friction to getting that receipt included in total real time there. So
that's super smart. So if you see like a common charge, you're like, oh, this, maybe they tagged it once as this. So now it's always going to get tagged as that thing, or it's probably smarter than that because it's actual AI. But it's
even smarter than that. It's smarter. But we definitely learn your patterns, and if we get something wrong, you can change it, and we'll learn that and get it right next time. And But we are actually, I don't know how nerdy you want to get here, but we are using we're using OpenAI to vectorize all of the data, right?
I
That's
know me
coming.
some vectorization.
You know,
Okay.
use some vectorization. So we're putting that into a vector database, right? And then we're creating a whole probability algorithm based on who you are, and we can weight different data, how we want, and we can. So who you are as a cardholder,
Yeah.
we can recommend your proper coding
Right.
based on.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
So, so there's the card side,
yep.
managing expenses, and you said bill pay.
Bill pay, yep.
So, that's mainly church paying the vendors that they
Right.
use, that kind
Right.
of
You
thing.
can upload a bill or have it emailed in. We'll extract all the data for you, create a digital line, create all the line items, break it all out, all your quantities and unit prices. And again, another little AI layer
Right.
that can do all that for you. And then you can have predefined approval processes and route that for approval, and then
Right.
ultimately pay the bill right from within KleerCard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's super
Yeah.
cool. So when you show it to churches,
Yeah.
what do they say? Like what are the like aha moments, or what are the
Yeah.
common things you're hearing like
Yeah.
from a
Yeah.
church when
Yeah.
you're demoing the product?
Yeah. Yeah. So many of these, right? It's like we demo to um, someone in the office, typically an accounting person or an executive pastor. They have the job of sorting all this out every month, right? Chasing receipts, getting things coded correctly, nagging their staff. And so they are, there's a lot of demos that end with, how do we start? Yeah.
Right.
So I think that the aha moments are showing the mobile app, showing the like the real time nature. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can get a receipt in before you get a notification before the waiter gets back with your sign, your receipt,
Right.
like that.
Right.
Fast. So the reduction of friction of getting receipts is a big aha moment, and reducing errors and getting it coded. And then if they use an accounting system we have an integration with, that's like the icing on the cake, right? Where
Right.
they can
They're like,
get
oh
it.
my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so those are fun ones when it's a no brainer.
Right.
And so you didn't ask about this, but I think the other big thing they add, because it's free, so we don't
Right.
charge churches for this. So we make our money, get a piece of the transaction fee from Visa. These are all
Right.
Visa cards. As it's used, and so we've very intentionally, we don't charge a subscription fee. So many people are saying, what's the catch, right? So
Right.
there's a little bit of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Nothing's free.
yeah, 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 yeah. Um, True.
That's
Yeah,
pretty good though. But you
yeah,
found a way, like you can, it's brilliant. You can offer it to churches because you're making your money to build the business and build great software and hire employees and do all the things, but you're making it via the relationship with Visa, not
right.
via the church paying the
Correct.
fee.
And it's not like the church is paying a markup or something either, right?
Right.
So this comes out of where all they're using the cards at all the coffee shops and Walmart and Costco, right? They're
Right.
eating a small percentage of the fee to accept that card payment. And then as the issuer of the cards, we get a chunk of that. And that's
Right.
that's how we're staying, keeping the lights on, as they
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. I love it. What's next for you guys? Like, what else are you guys trying to do to kind of keep improving it for churches?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff. So we've got so one of the things, the other unique thing about churches is there's this, when you talk to all these people in the office, there's, because of the nature of churches, and I understandably, right, like people don't want to nag people about a process,
Right.
right? Like it's sort of like this grace needs to be in everything, and so there's like more than sort of like your other industries where you can just be very
Right.
maybe overly direct and blunt with people. I think that's harder sometimes in a church office from what we've seen. So I think features that help accounting folks keep staff accountable but keep a distance for like, let the technology keep them accountable
Right.
is
Yeah.
a particular value in the church space. And
Yeah.
so,
That makes sense to me.
yeah, so we've got this sort of auto nagging feature where like you can configure policies, and if you've not done everything on a transaction you need to, we will send you a daily reminder.
Right.
And so that is another one of those aha moments in a demo where we show that we are enhancing that to after a certain amount of time has passed, your card may not work anymore.
Right.
And that will be that will be driven by a system driven policy. And once you've done the things you need to, it will work again. So that's
eventually you'll integrate with like payroll and their paycheck will stop happening
yeah.
when they have it.
I don't know about all that. I don't know.
That's a little far. That's a little.
That might be a little far. That might be a little far. Yeah. I'm hopeful that the card just working will do it for me. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. Are you guys doing the virtual card thing too?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So people can just buy things online and not even get a physical card issued to them, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we issue physical cards, obviously. Virtual cards, if people that don't know what that is, it's just like a physical card, right? 16 digit Visa number, expiration date, all that good stuff. It's just online, and we can you can go use that. Not just online, all of our cards, both physical and virtual, can be added to mobile wallets. So they're all mobile wallet compliant. So you can add them to your Apple Pay or Google Pay and go use them at a retailer as long as that retailer accepts that. And the other thing we've done that's interesting is that we built this process where you can create a card and share it externally with like a non-KleerCard user, right? So think volunteers again, where you can go share that with a volunteer. They could go add it to their mobile wallet and go buy things as needed. So,
right.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that. What about like spend limits? Do you assign it to a volunteer and say you only have $100 to use on this card per month, so that the volunteer can't go crazy?
Yeah, great question. Yes, so we have a couple different types of limits. Your classic sort of monthly limit that you can set up, right, based on a time period, and then that will reset. If you've got $2,000 a month, that will reset every month. Right. And then we just have what we call a reloadable card, where you can add dollars to a card, and you can just spend. When that's gone, the card stops working, right? So you add $1,000 to a card, and it's not tied to any time. And then you can add more funds or take funds away. So yes, we have a completely, and that can be via physical or virtual, right? So you can add those limit types can be for either physical or virtual cards.
I mean, it's super smart. I mean, every church on the planet should be using something like this, right? Like it's just,
agreed.
They're doing this anyways in some way, whatever it looks like, and you're just making people's lives, whether it's your staff or volunteers, you're making their lives so much easier on both sides, like the actual buying of things and the reimbursement of those things, as well as the staff, like the staff that has to manage all that. Like you're just cutting out steps and process and paperwork and all that and making it way more efficient.
And it's a more joyful experience too, right? For your staff. Like they're just not, everyone hates expense management, right? So if you can remove stress, free up time to focus on the mission, on their, I think it's a great value to any organization. But,
100%. Well, I guess we could talk tech all day long because we're both a bit geeky that way. In wrapping, where can folks go to check out the product and learn more about you guys?
Yes. So you can go to getkleercard.com. You could book a demo. We'd love to show it to you. You can go to KleerCard.com too. It'll kick out, but Get KleerCard is our marketing site.
Yeah.
And you can check us out on LinkedIn. You can check us out on Instagram,
and
Facebook.
It's Kleer with a K. KLEER.
Yeah, it's a funky spelling. You could ask me why is it called that. And you didn't, but I'll answer anyway.
Please, now I want to know. I didn't think to ask, but
it's the reason most brands are what they are. It was the URL available. It was a domain available. Yeah.
We own Tithely.com now.
Yeah.
But we did not originally. So, tithe.ly is the domain.
Right. And what's LY is what country is that?
Libya.
Yeah.
We used to get so many back in the day. We used to get very concerned potential customers. Like, is this a Libyan company?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? You know, we used to get a lot of that. We don't very much anymore, but back in the day, that was a thing.
Yes, for sure.
Well, Adam, this has been awesome, man. Everyone needs to go check out KleerCard. Get KleerCard with a K.com. Super
And two
cool.
E's. Yep.
And 2 E's, yes. We'll put it in the show notes. This is now getting confusing. But yeah, super cool product. Love that you are serving churches with it, growing up in the church, and that your second customer was a church. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
And yeah, man, we'll have to have you back in a year and just see how things are going.
Let's do it. Would love to.
Let's do it. All right, man. Appreciate it. Thanks guys for watching. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Catch us next week, and we'll have another episode of Modern Church Leader. See ya.